Hey, everybody. Just wanted to give an update. It's been about 2 months and a little bit since last we posted a video and getting some questions. So wanted to get some answers out there. We have a nice snowy day in Virginia here today. Hope your late winter, early spring is going well. Today's a little bit of a long update. So I'm going to go through a lot of details on where we are in the sauce development and production process. But for those of you with short attention spans that aren't going to make it through the whole video, just remember that we only use fresh peppers in our sauces. That means we have to finish out the 2022 grow season and then go into production, right? So we're still targeting that November of this year timeline to be shipping sauces out the door. For all the supporters that had a t-shirt in the reward tier, those have all shipped. Most have been received. That assumes that you filled out the surveys that we sent out in December. And then I think the second one was on February 4th that requests your t-shirt size and the address to ship the t-shirt to. Obviously, without those things, we can't get those out the door. There was no point in having us wait for the sauces to be done to ship those out. So get something in your hands early. We've since also switched the vendor that we use to create our merchandise because we've had two problems come back to us from the vendor that was creating and shipping those shirts. So that was a good learning process for us. And we hope the new merch system will be a little bit more cleaner in quality. They'll fix any issues that do come out with this batch. So do feel free and let us know. info@hornesauce.com if you guys had any problems with that. Again, if you didn't fill out the survey, you're going to need to do that to be able to get those shirts. I think there's 5 people in the t-shirt rewards tiers that have yet to provide a size or an address. So if you don't think you can find those emails and you need it to be resent or you just need information otherwise, again, use that same email address. So info@hornesauce.com. You can always change your addresses between now and when we ship the sauces later this year. So don't worry about that. You can always go back in and update it even after you fill it out. And it's filling it out on Kickstarter is where you fill it out. It's not, you don't have to send any personal information to us. It's all through Kickstarter. All right, so let's get into some details. So I mentioned using only fresh peppers. We have agreements set with 2 farmers, one that's going to do organic peppers for us as we try to make as many organic recipes as possible. There's a lot of certifications that have to happen through that process too. So we're not really sure where we're going to end up yet, but we at least know that we're going to be getting organic peppers from a farm in New Jersey. So basically seeds are already in dirt, right? The plants are already germinating and the agreement is set in place for us to be able to grab those in August. We also have a second agreement with another farmer here in Virginia that's going to supply the bulk of the rest of the peppers. Not organic for this first go, again, kind of, using a small sample size to be able to work through that process to get the organic ingredients, which isn't just the peppers, it's every other ingredient. You have to have the facility certified, you have to have the recipe certified and so on. So we're going to try to slowly grow into that. And we're actually starting to our own farm, so to speak, in South Carolina, and we're starting from scratch organic. So that is, not trying to change the methods midway through the season or as we grow a new new bit of produce. It's actually just kind of starting the farm out certified and using all the right methods and so on. So that's going to be a bit of an experiment for this grow season. I don't expect to use any for the bottling later in the season. But it will be a good learning experience for us. And it would also kind of help us control our own ingredient needs for subsequent batches in 2023 and onwards. So besides establishing those farms that I talked about in the agreements there, now you start to source all the other bulk ingredients, right? So you need everything to show up at that manufacturer facility within basically 3 days of one another when you're using fresh ingredients like this, or even if it was frozen. And of course, we're not going to use anything dried or dehydrated. So that is tricky, especially with all the supply chain woes in manufacturing right now. So we want to make sure we have all what they call the glass, the bottles and the lids, label materials, and then so on from all of your garlic, your vinegar, and your salt. Again, everything getting there right at the same time. We're also working on packaging. So I just got my first sample today for the 4-bottle gift pack, so to speak, that a lot of you were in that reward tier. So we're excited to be able to kind of make decisions on what the packaging is going to look like, and then get our logos and artwork on it, so that way we can be prepared to send out those 4-bottle packages, not only for the Kickstarter rewards, but for store purchases, web store purchases going forward. And similar to that cardboard box as well, we have bubble mailers for smaller orders, 1, 2, 3 bottles, the bubble mailer wrap and some bubble wrap around the bottles. Same thing, sizing it out, making sure it'll cover, hold the weight, getting the artwork on it and all those, because we're not just going to do one-offs, right? We're getting thousands of them up front to be able to fill not only all these hundreds of Kickstarter orders, but also orders down the line as well. And those bubble mailers are actually going to be great for us to be able to get the first sauce out to the folks in the Taste Tester Reward Club, or help us test our sauce to kind of contribute to that Skullville rating that's on the side of the bottles that denotes the hot sauce, from the hotness of the sauce from levels 1 to 5. So we'll be using those bubble mailers to get those out to you guys soon. And we will be going to the co-packer facility in April to do our 1-gallon sample batches. So that's for all 4 sauces, and that's 1 gallon of sauce per, to help us do that first scale up to volume, and also to have samples to send out to the FDA. So that way we can get our nutrition labels, our process approved, and be legal to sell and move forward. We will have some left over from those sample batches that we'll be bottling up with kind of not for resale labels on them to give out through the socials, and maybe an in-person event or 2, which is another bit of work that comes up, is preparing for those in-person events, with a booth or table, supplies and materials, right, to grab the attention of your brewery attendee or whatever it may be, and kind of bring them to our table to then facilitate, selling them hot sauce after that, which is the whole point of this. So after we get those 4 sample batches and everything approved in FDA, then we know we're good. That should happen sometime in May. And then again, we just have to wait for that grow season to mature or to finish out late July, August, get the peppers, everything lined up perfectly synced at the manufacturing, and then boom, we are running. We also set up pre-orders on the website. So, in addition to following the socials and trying to keep the word spread there, we appreciate anything you guys can do. But now folks can actually just go in and place a pre-order on the website. So that's hornesauce.com, HORNE sauce.com. Same site, many of you may have seen us before where the Kickstarter video was, but now you can actually submit pre-orders, again, making the purchase now and then receiving them at the end of the grow season. And we've actually already received a few. So anybody that's kind of interested or feels like they missed the boat, I had a sale food shopping the other day when I was wearing the Don Hornet hockey jersey. Somebody was asking about it. It's really easy just to present that website or that QR code, put them through to there, finish the transaction, knowing that once the grow season has finished or at least fully matured, we can get into production. So that's everything. I'll give another update. Probably, you'll see the socials as things mature more, but I think after we do those sample batches at the co-packer in April, and we know we've sent everything off to the FDA and things are going smoothly, I'll give another video update at that time. So thanks again for everyone for all the support. I really appreciate it. Thanks for your continued patience as we wait for it to be weather that's more suitable to actually grow peppers, and then use them in our hot sauces. And I look forward to seeing many of you or talking with you all more soon. Thanks again.